下那个屏幕看评论呢。好，挂了啊。Hello, hi everyone. How are you? How's everyone? Okay. Good morning. Doing great here. Doing great here too, my friend. No, I've already come back to Shanghai. Yeah. How are you guys? How are you guys? Can you please let me know how are you? Okay. Yeah. Trying a new way of. Yeah, I'm always very early. So usually I would have live streaming from 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. China time. And since I've received messages from followers who really likes my live streaming and said like, "Hey, could you really record it and replay it in the evening so that I can have a look at it too, you know?" So that is basically what I did yesterday. Did you guys see the replay yesterday? Yeah, I hope you guys like it. This is specifically for people who ask for this, have this kind of request. Yeah. Yeah. How are you guys? Hello, my friend from Russia. How do you say hello in Russia? Yeah, I've been to Russia in Vladivostok before, and Russia is quite different from here. Yeah. Recording are folks those who wake up late. Not really, because sometimes there are people who just have to work early. For example, they're on their way to work and somehow they see me, and then that's like they really like this live streaming, but somehow they have to start work early, I guess, because of that reasons, because that's usually the reason people say, like it's because of the work that I cannot continue watching your live streaming. So is there any way that you could just record it and replay it? Yeah, somehow because my live streaming is in English. So that is why like RedNote does not allow like recording and replay of it. So yeah, anyhow. 换装了，回家了嘛。This is Sunday today, so that is why like we're dressing up pretty relaxingly today. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. May I ask, what's your business? What do you mean by what's my business? Are you asking like what do I do for a living or like is that what your question is? Yeah, my friend Kathy, called Kathy. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry guys, because I'm actually using a new device to do all the live streaming today. So still setting things up while still trying to talk, my friends. So everything is a little bit different today. So yeah, but thank you so much for those of you who are still following me. Thank you so much. Yeah. Wait, somehow why it's not working? Morning, did you have some sleep last night? Yes, of course, I had a pretty good sleep last night because I returned back home. So the best bed at home is always the best, I guess. How about you guys? Do you guys have a very good
Some
sleep last night? I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. I hope you guys have a very good sleep last night. Yeah. Ah, thank you so much. Notice people are sending me that little tickets underneath. Yeah. Okay. Maybe I should just relax and just really start ignoring all those like setting up. Okay. Maybe I should
Because
just
I'm
relax
using
and
actually
just
laptop
really
to do
start
live streaming today,
ignoring
not
all
like
those
usual,
like
just
setting
used,
up.
okay.
Maybe I should
Because
just
I'm
relax
using
and
actually
just
laptop to
really
do live
start
streaming today,
ignoring
not
all
like
but after
usual,
today,
just setting
everything
up.
should be fine. Yeah.
Maybe I should just relax and just
So how are you guys? 有回音啊？现在还有回音了吗？现在还有回音吗，同志们？ No? Okay, great. Fantastic, my friend. Fantastic. Okay, great. Yeah. Somehow, why can I not still cannot see anything? Yeah. Yeah. Anyhow, so I returned to Shanghai today after the business trip. So it's okay. Oh, it's over here. Yeah, got it. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me do it. Jim 让我来，Jim 让我来。Okay. Hi, hello, my friend. Hi, everyone. Yeah, thank you for joining the live. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, somehow I need to set it up. Mhm. I don't know how to say Hawaii yet. So Hawaii is 夏威夷. It's like the direct translation, the pronunciation translation of Hawaii into Chinese, but I guess that's the translation of Cantonese, because the Cantonese of Hawaii is like more close to the English version of Hawaii. So in Mandarin, it's called 夏威夷. So that is how you say that is your hometown. So welcome, my friends from Hawaii. Well, actually, welcome people from everywhere and everywhere around the world to come to the live streaming. So usually there are people from literally everywhere around the globe. So definitely a lot of viewers are from China. At the same time, there are viewers from the US, from Europe, from Africa, from other countries in Asia. All the people on here are very friendly, especially on the platform of Red Note. People are especially friendly, and everyone is always speaking so highly of my live streaming, which I really appreciate. Yeah. And thank you so much for that. Let's see, what are the I'm from Mars. So if one day in the future you could move to Mars, will you really move to the Mars? I'm thinking about it. I feel like the technology has advanced so fast over the past, well, in human history, to be honest. Just think about like what's the technology is like when you were a child, and compare the technology right to today, right? So one thing we have discussed before, like I'm pretty sure you guys have already seen that. So there's like videos, content creators creating videos comparing how children nowadays would make hand gestures of phones, right? For example, for me, when people say like, hey, let me call you, or I tell people, let me call you, I would still use this hand gesture, showing that 姐姐有点吵啊，有点吵，我看看啊，有点吵，我想看看怎么办哈，我来想一想办法。Thank you, let me think。老公，那个你帮我把我的这个书包拿过来好吗？书包里边有一个这个插的那个。Yeah, using new device today to do live streaming, so that is why like things can be not so like before. So if there's anything wrong about this live streaming, please let me know, okay, my friend? Please let me know. Yeah. Yeah, 有点吵的话还是有办法解决的。Yeah, there should be ways to solve this problem. Okay, is there any other places where I can insert a second? 没有插的东西了，真要命！哎呀，今天真的是有点手忙脚乱的。它这个只有一个那个 Type C 的插头。这没用的，这没用的，这没用的，这不是的。没办法，这个可能今天先暂时解决不了，明天再解决吧。Yeah, sorry guys, this is not a problem that I could solve today, but I will solve it tomorrow, okay? I hope that is fine with you guys. 这边有 Type C 接头吗？有一个是吗？那你帮我插一下吧。有 Type C 接头的话可以插一下。啊，今天好手忙脚乱呢，可以吗？Wait, can you guys hear me, my friend? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me, my friend? Can you hear me? 好了 Okay. Right. I guess this is better now. 没底噪了，非常好。Okay, great. Fantastic, my friend. Okay, lovely. Finally solved all the problems. So if there's anything you still don't feel comfortable about this live streaming, please let me know, okay, my friend? Say, for example, if it's lagging or like the noise, whatever, just let me know. Because today, like I said, that I changed to a new device. So a little bit hectic this morning of setting everything up. However, like I guess starting from tomorrow, everything will be fine. So yeah, okay. Thank you so much, my friends, for coming in. That's very loud and clear. Okay, that is fantastic, my friends. Now it's like even better, right?
Yeah, that is even better. That is terrific, my friend. So I was sharing that over the past actually, as a matter of fact, in human history, our technology has always been advanced, right? That is of the animals, right? And so just think about just looking back about what kind of technology we are having when we were little. I still remember back then, it was funny that, I was saying that, for example, for my generation, for people like my age, when we were saying that, okay, let me call you, this is the kind of hand gesture we would use, right? Let me call you. However, I heard like many of the Gen Z, right? Gen Z now, like younger Gen Z, when they say, hey, let me call you, they would do something like this. Like, let me call you rather than let me call you, right? Very different. It's because of the technology. So before, when we were little, the kind of phone that we use, 收音不太好啊，这个哇，好难呢、稍等啊。嗯哼。Yeah. How about now? How about now? Is it good? Is it good? Yeah. Is it good now? Is the microphone good now, my friend? Thank you so much. You guys are like my IT tester, like helping me to test everything. Yeah. Okay, okay, great. Okay, let's continue. Yeah, thank you so much, my friend. Thank you so much for helping me to set up everything. Yeah, so good to see all of you guys. And yeah, so I was saying that what was I saying? Yeah. So I was saying that like when we were like for nowadays, like for people like my age or even older, we would use this hand gesture as a meaning of like, hey, I will call you, right? So when our like younger generation, for example, many Gen Z, then when they say, hey, let me call you, it's like, hey, let me call you, right? Because right now people use cell phone like iPhone, like Samsung, right, to call. It's no longer like the phone that we used before, like those like old traditional phone where they have like what is called this thing, right, with two heads on it, and we call it, right? And these are all because of technology changes. So if you ask like, hey, what will happen in the next 10 years or 20 years, the technology might, well, because technology is developing at a faster and faster speed, so that is, you know, seriously, like when I see Elon Musk invention of those like human robots, and also with the development we right now see in I guess in the very near future, we'll probably just have like human robots as servants at home, helping us with literally everything. So that is great because there's no more argument between husband and wives on chores, family chores, right? There's always the human robot to take care of everything. And how can I buy some things from Chain or Alibaba and bring to Afghanistan? Do you know that? What do you mean by that? Like, do you want to order stuff from Alibaba and bring to Afghanistan? Yeah, your lives are very informative. Keep it going. Thank you, my friend. Yeah. Yeah, there are people saying that, okay, yeah, my very first phone is of 9 buttons, right? Not like today. On the phone, literally, you could just type anything, write anything, right? And also, it's so interesting. Back then, I still remember I was little. Like my dad has his very own phone, right? I think it's a Nokia phone. Like some people said that the very first phone was with like 9 buttons on it, and there's no password setting up. So basically, I could secretly turn on my dad's phone and look at the messages he received. So I remember somehow back then in China, with the introduction of those like old traditional cell phone, and when first like people could start texting each other, and like they really like to send those jokes to each other. Was it same with you guys? Was it same like you in your place as well? Like people really like to text those jokes to each other. So like for example, whenever my dad was charging his old Nokia phone, and I would secretly just go like turn on his phone and then like see what kind of jokes he received. And I was little. It was so funny because sometimes those jokes are like horny jokes, you know. I was like so confused. What does it mean? Somehow this feels like hilarious, but what does this joke mean? I don't really understand. Right. Yeah, quite funny. Later in the years, the phone has become so different, and nowadays the phone literally can do anything. I still remember my dad was saying that, yeah, my dad was saying that, oh yeah, so maybe in the future back then when we were having those like old traditional phone, cell phone, right? And he's like, yeah, maybe in the future I want to buy a phone that could watch, that would allow me to watch football, soccer play just on the screen of the phone. I was like, no, there's no way that thing can happen. Because look at the phone right now. The screen is so tiny. How are you able to watch football? I was saying that back then I was little. I said, no, nothing like that is going to happen. However, somehow he really remembers that because a few years later, that really happened. And everyone is watching and NBA, watching World Cup, those like sports on the phone. And for girls who are not into sports, like we would look all the dramas, TVs on the phone, right? So things like that literally happened. So that things just come to my memory so deeply, like carved in my memory, because there was a time that I somehow humiliated myself. But of course, I was little, right? I only saw the technology in front of me and I said, okay, nothing like that is going to happen. However, everything just happened in a flash. And it's not like it happened in many, many decades later. It happened literally just like a few years later, and everything like that just happened, right? I remember dial phones with cords, right? Yeah, exactly. So that's why I said that right now, for example, for people like us, we would use this kind of hand gesture to say, hey, I want to call you. However, like for people in like nowadays, like younger generation, they would use this to mean like, oh, I'm gonna call you, right? So these are all the technology changes, which is like very interesting changes. So I was saying that maybe in the very near future, for example, in around, and definitely I think less than 5 years, we probably will have human robots that could really help people. It's not like just a play around, but like literally could do so fast these family chores and also take care of kids, right? So in China, we have this kind of habit or this kind of traditions. We have discussed it before that, we have this kind of when a woman has a new baby, what would she do? Right after she had the labor, there's 1 month. She has to sit a month, and inside this month, she needs to be taken really good care of. So sometimes in some families, they would hire an occupation, a person called 月嫂, which is the month lady who specifically comes in here to her home to take care of this new mother, right? So I feel like this new job, sometimes I would hear my friends sharing stories about their conflicts between themselves, the new mother, and the new month lady who comes in here supposedly to take care of them. However, there are some, for example, living habits difference. For example, like one of my friends just hired a month lady who's like so talkative, always wanting to talk to her, like she couldn't rest at all. And sometimes we also see it from the news that there are other, there are other month ladies who are just not so responsible, and sometimes they don't take care of the kids very well, the babies very well, right? However, all those problems can be solved by human robots, right? If you can have a human robots, and to be honest, that is just a robot that you don't feel like he's a human being, and you don't feel like, okay, so with that person in the room, I feel like not so comfortable because there's an extra person, there's like some privacy problems, right? There's nothing like that. So these might be something that we are able to experience in the very near future, right? I wish we have that in America. We don't have that in China yet, my friend. It's not like we already have that in here. I just feel like in the very near future, maybe in the next 5 years, things like that will happen. Will happen. Because I feel like, for example, Elon Musk has already shown the kind of human robots he built. And also in China, we also have some companies called, one company called Yushu. So in this year's Spring Gala, they had this performance of showing all their human robots dancing the Chinese traditional dance and playing the handkerchief. If you guys haven't seen that video, you guys definitely need to check it. I think I posted on TikTok on my account, so you guys could definitely check my account there and see the video of those Chinese robots performing in Chinese Spring Festival Gala playing handkerchief. And one of the biggest joke after they played it is that, wait, why don't they wear any underwear? That is really funny. Yeah, I look forward to having a house bot. I will name him Alfred. Why Alfred? Yeah, I really look forward to having the house robot as well. That is definitely considered to be a very fun thing to do, right? And also, like I said before, so these things will happen in the near future, I strongly believe. So probably in maybe in the next decade, probably everyone will have one like house robot at home. It's not like in the movie, it's like in real life, right? And it's not recording, my friend. Yeah. Hey, code, you say surely information about ship from chain to another country. What is that? Yeah. Oh, Alfred is Batman's butler. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I guess some people would want to name him Alfred. Maybe other people would want to name him. What's the name of Imus? Imus helper. What's the name of that? Joshua or something? I forgot. Yeah. Somehow there's another like I remember Iman also has like some electronic virtual helper. What's the name of that person? I forgot. Ja something. I remember it's like some word starts from J. Yeah, her English is quite articulate. Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much, my friend, for saying that. Yeah. Uh, yeah, I'm not a native speaker. As a matter of fact, I am just a Chinese. Yeah, thank you, my friend. Good to see all of you guys in here. Yeah. Okay. I guess I still need to set up. Like things are still quite hectic today. Oh, okay. Is there any way? Oh, okay. Let me see. There's this way. Do this. Yeah. Oh, okay. This is good. This is good. I like it. I like it here. Yeah. Now is better. 呃，好难呢。Okay. So I November is asking, 不知道她的目的是什么，想做什么 business. Like she's saying that she doesn't know what's the purpose of me doing this live streaming here. What kind of business do I want to do? So I guess like first of all, I definitely will do business in the future. So there will be ways of me to monetizing this social media account. So I can share my story with you. I guess you're new in here because the question you asked, it's apparent that you don't know too much about my story. Okay, so back then when TikTok banned, or like it didn't really ban, but somehow you guys know about the TikTok ban events back then, right? And then so lots of the foreign friends flooded to Red Note, and after they flooded to Red Note, I started doing live streaming because back then I considered it to be a golden opportunity to start communicating with people from literally around everywhere around the globe. Because people not only from America, but also from other countries flooded to Red Note. And it's the very first time that I feel there's no such barriers like before, and people from everywhere could communicate freely with each other. And I consider that to be a very rare opportunity. So back then, I started my live streaming purely for the purpose of cross cultural communication because I was able to hear the voice from everywhere. And I would share my opinions and share my knowledge about China. And there are people out there who would ask questions about China. And there are also people sharing their culture and their knowledge about their country. And it feels so good to have this kind of cross-cultural communication. Also, I feel I start to realize there are some misunderstandings from other countries about China, and we Chinese also have some misunderstandings of other countries as well. So after doing that, there are a lot of people starting to say that they really like my live streaming. And every day, almost every day I start live streaming, there are so many people come into my live streaming. And so many people are being so nice and compliment highly of what I can share. And of course, at the very beginning, I don't know too much about the rules on those different social media platforms. And my live streaming at the very beginning got banned literally every day. And I was like so pissed off and so not knowing what to do. Like, why is it always banned? So after doing it for a couple, well, actually just less than 2 months, now I'm pretty clear about the rules. So I would direct people about like what are the things we can discuss, what are the things we cannot discuss. So far so good. No more ban in here. And that is why we're able to have a very fun talk. So if you ask me what is the purpose of me doing it here, the live streaming, so the biggest purpose is definitely cross-cultural communication. Okay. So we don't have this kind of chance like before. I was saying about this technology development over the past decades, right? Before, we don't have this kind of opportunity. Like everyone can just jump onto the internet and can talk to anyone, like you don't know, right? And also right now, you can see me. And well, of course, in some live chat room, they do like those, like lots of people can come into the chat room, they can turn on the camera, like everyone can see each other. You can literally just talk to anyone, right? And trust is built more easily than before. So this is like a really good opportunity. So that's the biggest purpose of me doing the live streaming here, which is cross-cultural communication. However, since I have been doing it for a while and I have accumulated quite some followers and still accumulating lots of followers every day, definitely I'm thinking that there should be a way of me trying to monetize, those social media accounts. However, the biggest takeaway is not really about how to monetize my very own social media account, which is the social media account you are seeing right now. The biggest takeaway is really about like, okay, since I started doing it, I'm thinking that, okay, maybe I should consider doing cross-border e-commerce because I have also open account on TikTok and start doing live streaming there. And then my live streaming on TikTok is also pretty, attracting lots of like followers there as well. So because of the kind of experience at TikTok, I started to think, okay, so on TikTok, what is exactly the thing they're trying to do? So I noticed they are actually really promoting cross-border e-commerce. And then right now here in China, cross-border e-commerce is a big thing. So that is a business that I haven't tapped into. So that is why like I tapped into that business from 3 weeks ago and have literally sorted everything out together with our small team. And I also heard like Red Note is about to do that too, which are like all great news, right? This is going to be a very brand new startup project for us. Yeah. 主播的英文 anchor and also host. Yeah. Yeah. So thank you so much for my friends for following me. And guys, follow me please, okay? Follow me please if you haven't done so. Yeah. Okay. I have been a big fan of China since I was a child and tried to dig through my marble field to you. That is fantastic, my friend. I know across the screen, even though I don't see you, I can feel there are so many people out there who are genuinely interested in knowing more about China and wanted to hear about how Chinese people think about people from your country and also about like what's going on in the world and what's our culture. That's like why I'm here to share everything with you. And just so you know, there are plenty of people in China, for example, people like me who are also genuinely interested in knowing the culture of people from other countries. So here we are, right? Yeah. Yes, exactly, spot on, right? Yeah. Did you see speed streaming in China? Wait, do we have like speed streaming in China? I'm not sure like we have, because I do see lots of clips of him coming to China and he's such a funny guy. And just so you guys know, like Speed is a very, very famous content creator, like KOL. Like I think he's like one of the definitely the most famous one in the West, right? Literally everyone in the US I show Speed, right? And he's in China nowadays, and he's definitely a huge figure, like in today's news in China. And like no matter on which social media platform you scroll the screen, you just see his videos. And Chinese people give a very interesting nickname for him. Instead of calling him Speed, we call him what's the word? 甲亢哥, hyperstyro, hyper. Oh my god, how to say 甲亢? Hyper. Can anyone help me? 甲亢, how to say 甲亢? Hypothyroidism. Yeah, hypothyroidism. Yes, we call him hypothyroidist guy. So if you guys don't know what hypothyroidism is, it's like a disease that's there's something wrong with your what's this called? 甲状腺. How to say 甲状腺? How to say 甲状腺? Something wrong with this organ in here. So that's why you would start to have some symptoms, for example, like very big eyes. And he apparently has very big eyes, and he also likes to make very exaggerated expression like this, right? So in that sense, it looks like he's having hypothyroidism guy, hypothyroidism. So that is why here in China we call him hypothyroidism. It was so funny yesterday when he's walking on the street in Beijing. Well, maybe it's the day before yesterday. So there was a kid walking up to him and say, "Hey, can you give me your autograph?" So the Chinese kid doesn't know how to say that. So he said, "Hey, can you give me your name? Can you give me my name? Give me your name." So which means like, "Hey, can you sign for me?" And then he's like, "Okay, then tell me what's my name. Tell me what's my name." And the kid only know the name in Chinese, and he said, Jia Kong, Jia Kong." It's so funny. And then later he thought of, oh, Speed, Speed. Okay, so Speed signed to him. Yeah. To be honest, I know Speed, but I don't know too much about him. So the fact that he comes to China, first of all, is a great opportunity to making himself known to all the Chinese people. And the second, like he also acts as a very good Chinese ambassador to people around the world. He's such a big influencer, right? For example, whenever I started my live streaming, there are people always coming into the live streaming and ask, "Hey, are you a propagandist? Are you paid to do the live stream?" However, for example, for him, when he comes to China and he do the all live streaming, you wouldn't say like, "Hey, Speed is a propagandist. Like he's paid by the Chinese government in order to promote China," right? You guys wouldn't do that. And also everything he shows is like the very natural China, like how Chinese people are being very polite with him and would not just attack him or all of a sudden without an ask and take photos with him. Like everything is like very polite. And I see many of the comments in the Western live stream seeing Speed is all about, oh, Chinese people are very friendly and very, very, very polite. I knew him because he's singing that song. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that song by Da Zhangwei, right? Yeah. So like he's singing the song, like he also sing the song back in China when he first came in Shanghai, right? So he's a true ambassador showing the real China. As an American, coming to China, show the real life about China to people in America. And now people in America wouldn't like question everything like you guys question, like some of you guys, okay? Some of you guys would question in my live streaming asking, "Hey, are you a propagandist?" Like you wouldn't ask such thing to Speed, right? Your English so good and fluent. Thank you, my friend. Yeah. Mhm. Since that case, I'm a CEO of Chinese Fortune 500 company. What do you mean? Some people actually did say Speed got paid because he was positive. Yeah, so that's the thing. There's a saying in China that you could never wake up someone who pretends to sleep. So I guess when it puts into the current scenario is whenever you see something that is not going to you according to your will, you're not seeing something according to your wish. Some people, according to some people's wish, people just tend to deny it by saying that it's a lie. As long as it's not something that they agree with, instead of choosing to believe what they see with their eyes, they choose to believe everything is a lie. Your earrings are very nice, right? You like it, right? It's the shape of heart. Thank you, my friend. So to be honest, there's nothing to do with those people unless they really travel to China and see everything with their own eyes. Well, however, I feel like even for those type of people, even if they travel to China and they see everything with their own eyes, some of them will still feel like, oh, it's a lie. Everyone is just being actors and or actresses and just pretend like that. I'm pretty sure the real China is not like that. I'm pretty sure there are people like that. So for those of people, I could only say that we give up on you because if you just choose to believe what you want to believe rather than taking the opinions from different sides and or even just come to China and see everything, judge by yourself, take evidence from different sources rather than just listening to one source and just believing what you are told, rather than judging by coming to a conclusion based on your own observation, then those people, I can only say that I give up on these people. There's no way they are able to get to know this world a lot better than other people. Right, my friend? Do you guys agree? Yeah. 会讲中文吗？会讲中文，我的朋友们呀现在在跟老外讲这个这两天甲亢哥来中国的这件事情。Yeah. So Yeah, and guys, follow me, please, okay? Follow me, please, if you haven't done so. Have you guys followed me? Have you guys followed me? If you haven't followed me, follow me, please, okay? And keep on tapping the screen to sending likes. We're a little bit lagging behind when it comes to likes, right? Right now, we have less than 5,000 likes. Help me reach 5,000 likes, my friend. Keep on tapping the screen to help me reach 5,000 likes. And also, there's a button down below called 互动 interaction. It's in here, I think. So basically, it means you want to have some interaction with me, right? On RedNote. So what you could do is just press that button. First of all, join my team. I definitely need more joiners to my team. And second, I definitely need more people to send me a yellow tickets, which is called 人气票, so that my live streaming can be pushed to more people. Yeah. Good to see all of you guys. Yeah, good to see all of you guys. Yeah. You have beautiful teeth and a comfortable mandible. Thank you, my friend. You're being so nice. Do people in China take the zodiac seriously, like some people in the West? Yes, people here in China take zodiac seriously. And Chinese has its very own zodiac system, not very similar to the zodiac system in the West. So I guess in the West, when we're talking about zodiac signs, we are talking about like horoscope, right? So depending on which month you were born, you have your own horoscope sign, right? For example, you guys can take a guess what kind of horoscope I am. Yeah, that would be fun. Okay, just guess which month I was born, what personality I am. Depending on your judgment, what is my horoscope, my friend? 我的星座是什么? Can you guys take a guess? Yeah. So that is the Western system, right? And the Eastern system, or in China, it is about the zodiac sign. Like in which year were you born? The year you were born, there are altogether 12 zodiac signs, and each year represents one zodiac animal sign. So the Western system is around the month. The Chinese system is the zodiac is around the year. Okay, so I'm not letting you guys ask my year. Okay, I'm not gonna tell you how old I am, my friend, just so you know. But that's definitely fine to tell you guys about my month, which is my horoscope. Okay, so guys, take a guess. What is my horoscope? Okay, I need you guys to take a guess. What is my horoscope? Yeah. Let's see. So far, let me see. Anyone guessing it right? Anyone guessing it right? My horoscope, okay? Like whether I'm a Capricorn, whether I am a Libra, I am uh what are the others? What the other Scorpion, everything. Yeah. What's the other? Yeah, guys, take a guess. What is my month of birth? What is my horoscope? What is my horoscope, my friends? Yeah, so far I see no one's guessing it right. My goodness, no one guessing it right. I guess that is also true because judging from what I have shown you here, the kind of personality I show you here, I don't really look like my horoscope, my friend. Okay, Virgo. Okay, finally someone is right. I finally see one correct answer. Finally see one correct answer. Yeah. Can you guys take a guess? What horoscope am I? What horoscope am I? I don't even know my own horoscope. I can tell you moon phases or for fission. Well, just take a guess which month I was born. Literally, like when you can tell the month, then you can tell the horoscope. Yeah. Yeah, take a guess. Take a guess. Which horoscope am I? Yeah. So far, I only see one person saying it right. Only one person saying it right. I don't see anyone else guessing it right. So that is interesting, which means that I don't really look like my horoscope. Yeah, that is interesting. Are you in summer? Capricorn? No, no Capricorn, no Leo, no. It's so funny. Yeah. Oh my God. So right now, only one person gets it right. Only one person gets it right. And that person is not on RedNote. I see 1 person. No one on RedNote gets it right. So far, I don't see a single person on RedNote guessing it right. There's only one person on TT gets it right. However, all the rest of you are guessing it so wrong. Yes, guess. Take a guess. What is my horoscope, my friend? This is funny. Yeah. 别人都说我像 Virgo, 但我不是。Yeah, just judging from the results, the kind of guess you guys sent in, I can also feel like you guys are feeling I have a different personality than I really am. That is funny. Uh-huh. What is my horoscope, my friend? Which month were I born? My goodness, nobody gets it right. Nobody gets it right. No, that is not right. And that is no, not right, my friend. Nobody gets it right. Oh my goodness, that is so funny. Yeah, that is so funny. No, not Scorpion. No, not Gemini. No, not Libra. No, Aries. No, July. Oh my goodness, you guys are funny. Not Leo. Not Cancer. What's left, my friend? I've denied literally everything you said. No, not Aquarius. No, not Aquarius, my friend. Not Virgo, not Sagittarius. Now, finally, yeah, after eliminating everything, finally seeing the right answer, I am a Taurus. But I guess I don't look like a Taurus at all, right, my friend? Still, like on Retinol, there's still nobody like guessing Taurus at all. So I see on TT there are people guessing Taurus. However, on Retinol, nobody guessed me. I am a Taurus. Is there any Taurus in there? Is there any Taurus in there? I thought Capricorn. Yeah, Capricorn is very close to Taurus. So if you there are like when you're talking about horoscope, there's like a sun horoscope, there is a moon horoscope, there is a like a rising horoscope, right? So my rising horoscope is Capricorn. My sun, like my original horoscope is Taurus, and my moon is Sagittarius. So so those people who understand about like those horoscope signs and can read all those horoscope things tells me that okay, your moon sun, your Sagittarius really saved you. Otherwise, if you have a sun that is Taurus and the rising that is Capricorn, you're just gonna be so boring because both of them are like the Earth horoscope, right? And you're supposed to have a very down to earth, a very introverted kind of personality when you have those two horoscope signs. So the fact that I have moon that is a Sagittarian makes my personality to become a lot more lively. So they say like, "Oh, your moon really saved you," something like that. Yeah. To be honest, before I don't really believe in horoscope. I didn't really believe in horoscope. Right now I do. Okay. So when I started my job, I told you guys I worked in one of the biggest investment bank on Wall Street in Hong Kong, right? And they every year they would gather all the new joiners to a large trainings in the headquarters in New York. So I remember that there is a huge training room with over 300 people inside the training room, the new joiners, right? And so they have to do some ice breaking session. So for the ice breaking session, what they did is that they're gonna ask a question for people who fit into the criteria of that question. For example, people, guys, try to find people who are wearing the same color of your clothes. Yeah, just try to search for people who are wearing same color of clothes. You guys gather together and I give you a topic, you guys talk. Okay, so the question was always like first like find a person who's wearing the same color of clothes, or finding a person who's like for example wearing the same style of clothes, etc. However, when the question comes to like, hey, people, when find people who are born in the same month, gather together and talk about some topic I'm gonna give you. The vibes of people who are born in May gather together, all of a sudden the vibes are so different from any of the vibes I have in the previous groups. And then you could also observe the groups of other people born in other months and how it's like. And from that moment, I started to believe in horoscope because I could just feel like the personality of Taurus, people would tend to be like less extroverted. People are like relatively more introverted when they are Taurus, right? So Taurus people, when they get together, like everyone are very eager to talk to others. However, just because they're so introverted, they just don't know how to talk to each other. Everyone is being so awkward, a little bit embarrassing, kind of like that. However, when it's like some other groups, right? For example, where you're talking to a group of people from different horoscopes, like basically we're just wearing the same of color of clothes, you would see people who are like "Arr!" You would also see people like very very calm, like just like people, all sorts of people. However, when it comes to May born people, people born in May gather together, like everyone's just like so like similar to each other. And that is the first time I started to believe in horoscope. And second thing is that when I was I did a I went on a traveling tour, which is like a quite famous traveling tour here in China called Daocaoren. And that traveling tours, you basically travel with people you don't know. You just register online and you went out traveling and travel with some people that you don't know, right? And there's some one girl. she doesn't know every one of us, right? I don't know her. She doesn't know any of us. She's also new in here. And when she introduced herself and she said, okay, one of the talent I have is I am able to read this horoscope sign. What's it called? The 星盘. 星盘. There's some like 星盘, like there's like a map, like depending on which year, which year, what time, what minute are you born. You're gonna see like the moment you're born, what's the star, where does the star fall on this map. So she said, okay, one of the talent I have is by reading your horoscope map and tell what type person you are and what are things you should be mindful of, what are the things you should not, etc. So everyone's like very curious about that. So everyone would went up to her and say, hey, this is my map. Can you take a look at it and tell me what do you think about it? So she reviewed everyone's map inside the group, and I can guarantee that we don't know each other. And then she was able to make it so right. For example, she said something about me, and I consider that is absolutely right about me. For example, she said something about me, which is like I am really good at, tolerate many things. I have a very strong ability to tolerate. And I usually would only speak out when I find it enough. Like literally, I could no longer tolerate after taking so much, and then I will speak out. And that is really me. And she said, you should not do that. Okay. So judging from your personality, that this is your inborn personality. However, this is not good for when it comes no matter it's about work or it's about like mutual relationship, right? You have to always give feedback. You have always let people know that these are the things you're feeling uncomfortable, because sometimes people don't know you're in a very uncomfortable mode. And if you can give feedback, people potentially could adjust themselves according to you, and this will be better for the entire relationship. And that is really true about me. So I taken her advice, really reflect on that, and trying to be not always just tolerate till the last moment, and then all of a sudden, boom, like everything is broken, right? I will become like try to adjust in the middle rather than just tolerate to the last moment. And so she also said something about everyone else, other people, the personality is like, what's the problem? What's your inborn personality? And what's the problem inside it? And what are the things you should consider changing yourself instead to solve those problems, potential problems? And she shared that as well. Everyone, everyone inside that trouble group. I guarantee you guys, we don't know each other and we don't know her. She's definitely not a liar. And those people, like for example, me, we're definitely not what we call in Chinese 托. And then every one of us said that she actually is very accurate when it comes to telling us what's the personality we're having and what's the problem we're having, what's the strength and weakness we're having. So that's the second thing that happened to my life. And I started to believe in horoscope. Okay. And later she recommended me this book called Inner Sky. 内在的天空, You're in the Sky or in the Sky. If you guys haven't read it, I strongly recommend you guys to read it. It's a very interesting read, okay? Called In the Sky or You're in the Sky or The Inner Sky, something like In the Sky. This is a like an entry level book for people who want to study about like horoscope map, horoscope sign. So I read this book, and inside this book, it systematically explained how horoscope works, right? 这种星座它的这个原理到底是什么哈？就是星盘的入门应该怎么样去看等等。Yeah, inside book that explained it. And according to at the very beginning of this book, it was just saying like kind of agree. So horoscope is actually not superstition. You look brave, you look courageous. Thank you, my friend. So there's a saying that so inside that book, it said that okay, horoscope is definitely not superstition. It's actually big data if you're using today's knowledge. Okay, of course, inside the book, it didn't use, I don't remember use the word big data. However, the kind of sense I get is big data. So basically, throughout the history, because of so many people were born into different times, right? When the sun is in here, the moon is in there, Mars is in there, Bruno's is in there, and all of a sudden they just come up with this whole system. And I say that is AI, that is big data, right? Like each person's what's the personality, what's his or her fate, and what happened. And that is because of the sun. Just find a correlation between the two. It's almost like investments, right? You try to find different factors and try to run a simulation and to discover the returns of the market depends on which factors, right? It's likewise. you also run a simulation of what's happened to different people's fate, the personality, and link that to the horoscope signs. So that is like big data. So after seeing that, I'll feel, oh, okay. So if it's big data, it's pretty scientific, right? So that's the feeling that I have. So it's very interesting that so later I started to really believe in it. And for the moment, for that period of time when I read this inner book, and it actually teaches you how to read people's horoscope map. And everyone I meet, I'm like, hey, can you tell me your horoscope map? I need to read it for you. Like, it was not no expert, but I was so obsessed with it back then. I was like, okay, like studying it. Oh, you're an introvert. Oh, you're an extrovert. Oh, you're gonna have a good marriage. Oh, you're not gonna have a good marriage. Something like that. It's like really funny. Yeah. So like one content creator called Ashu recommended me to study I Ching, which is the Chinese system of horoscope, right? And I remember I have another friend who studied both, right? The Western horoscope and the Eastern horoscope. And she said like many things in both systems actually are pretty similar. Both systems share a lot in common. So I guess there are definitely some like scientific things behind that, I guess, in my feeling. Yeah. Do you know Bruno Mars? Yes, I know Bruno Mars for sure. I'm a huge fan of Bruno Mars. I really like their music. Yeah. Somehow at the very beginning, I always confused Bruno Mars with Maroon 5. But right now, yeah, I could tell the difference. Like Bruno Mars, Maroon 5 are very different bands. I really like Bruno Mars a lot. Yeah. Yeah. So that is very interesting. Are you Chinese? Yes. 中国人呢，朋友们，我是中国人。Yeah, thank you. And guys, follow me, please, okay? Guys, follow me, please, if you haven't done so. Follow me, please, and keep on tapping the screen to send in likes. Keep on tapping the screen to send in likes. Help me reach over 10,000 likes, my friend. Help me reach 10,000 likes, okay? Will you? Help me reach more likes in here. Hi, my friend from Romania. It looks like Romanian friends really like Chinese. Am I right? My friend called Anti or Anti? Yeah. Guys, follow me, okay? Please follow me and keep on tapping the screen to send in likes. 有没有中国宝宝可以亮一下粉丝灯牌？有没有谁可以加入一下粉丝团的？Can anyone join my team? Can anyone join my team, my friend? I need people to join my team, my friend. Anyone join my team? Yeah. Well, as a matter of fact, in every of my life, I only need 5 people to join my team. So 5 is enough. It would be great if you guys can join my team. Fantastic. Lovely. Thank you so much, Bao Fu. Thank you, Kathy. And thank you, Lu Chen Mangu, for joining my team. Yeah. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Dan Dan Dongru Nayang. Thank you for joining my team. Yeah, thank you so much, my friend. You guys are amazing. Okay, thank you, Chiara Juju. Thank you, Momo. Just keep on asking. Thank you you guys for joining my team. Yeah. Every day I have so many things to share. It's always good to talk to with you guys. Yeah. Today, to be honest, I'm a little bit not like the usual me. Not a little bit, not like before, like the brain is functioning very fast, because today, to be honest, a little bit nervous. Switch devices, switch to laptop live streaming, so a bit of hectic when it comes to setting everything up. And still the kind of I guess I need to take some deep breath to calm myself down. I could feel like today I am not like the normal me. Yeah. But thank you guys for still liking and joining my life. Yeah. Yeah, we can see what are the question we can discuss about. Yeah. So the reason why I want to change to the new device to do live streaming is, first of all, this is easy to monitor, and second of all, I could also change to a virtual background. I want to change to a new background because this background looks so boring, right? You guys definitely need to see some fancy background. And there are so many beautiful backgrounds I can show you guys. So the fact that if we change device, then that's gonna happen, right? Yeah. And also, I remember earlier there's someone said that I look skinnier now compared to before. So I guess first of all, it's because camera, right? Maybe I changed device, the camera makes me look very different. And also after the business, I did lose weight. I did lose weight, my friend. So I went to check my weight after returned home yesterday. After the three days of business, I think I lost 10. Well, no, 2 kilos, around 2 kilos. 呀，大概掉了3、4斤嘛，出了一个差，这个减肥速度还是挺快的。So I guess one of the best way of losing weight is go on a very hectic business trip. So just over the past 3 days, the business trip, I lost 2 kilos in total. So I did lose weight. So that's why I look skinnier. So one thing is that I truly lost weight, and second is because I changed device. Now it's a new camera. So the two things combined makes people feel like I look skinnier. So which is great, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. 是小罗非你问了这个问题是吗？看上去瘦了。对。But I guess it's also because like somehow there's some problem with this camera because I don't feel like I look that skinny. Like my face should look a little bit wider compared to this. So I'm gonna check the camera to see if it automatically sharpened my chin. Yeah, because I do want to look real, not look like me. Yeah, yeah. You look like AI. Is it because I'm too pretty, so that's why I look like an AI, my friend? Yeah. So overall speaking, I think like Chinese people are skinnier than many of the Western people. I think it's because of the food that we eat, the diet we eat. No good Chinese food in the States. So that is why you need to come to China, my friend Mark. There are plenty of Chinese food. I've been said so many times like that food Panda Express is not good. And also there's nothing like General Tso's chicken in here in China. We have so many good food in here. We have so many good food in here. Yeah. And also, we not only have good Chinese food, we also have very good Japanese food, good Korean food, and here as well. So if you come to China, you basically are able to try all different Asian cuisines in here. So the other day, I went to a Japanese restaurant in Shanghai. So they serve like fusion food, some food combined with Japanese food and Chinese food and other Chinese Sichuan food. However, performed it in omakase way, the Japanese way. And the chef is also dressed up like a Japanese, even with like face drawn on his face, like a Japanese artist, and make food for us and serve everything to us. And inside the restaurant, there's a huge screen. Depending on what food you're eating, there will be videos showing you about the ingredients they're using to make this food. These are like really amazing experience. The kind of experience you don't get to try in somewhere else. So, like we discussed before, China is a country with huge population, and one problem with population is that no matter what industry you're in, you're always facing very fierce competition. So, same with our restaurant industry, especially in the first tier city like Shanghai, like Beijing, Shanghai specifically. I think there are so many restaurants. If you want to survive in Shanghai as a restaurant owner, you definitely need to think of ways to make your restaurant to be so much different from others. And nowadays, people have tried all sorts of food. As a matter of fact, our tongue is no longer like the tongue 20 years ago. It has tasted so many delicious food. No matter how delicious the food is nowadays, it feels like we can no longer feel it as delicious as before. So sometimes like people really have to, you know, come up with new ideas that not only is about the taste, but it's also about everything else, right? The decoration, interior design, and layout, the food, and the performance inside the restaurant that makes people want to stay in the restaurant and eat. So if you come to China and try the restaurants here, inside many restaurants, you will discover it's not only about the food, it's about the whole package, the whole experience. And that experience is going to be so different from the experience you can get from your country. And usually for all those restaurants, some of them can be pricey, but majority of them are very cheap compared to the restaurants, for example, in the US. So definitely worth visiting. Okay, China is a country that is definitely worth visiting, even you're only in here for food. Yeah. So someone asked this question about like, do Chinese still resent Japanese for what they did to your ancestor? Short answer to that is yes, because that history, so what they did, so what Japanese did to our ancestors, that history was marked in our history so deeply. It's like carved in our history. And inside every of our textbook, as long as it's Chinese, as long as he's born in China, he or she's born in China, as long as he or she get educated in China, inside the history textbook, there will be lessons telling Chinese people about this shameful history, that how we are able to invaded by other countries and how many Chinese people are killed by other countries, especially Japanese. And for example, back then in my senior high school, we would have those school tour organized by the school to come to the city of Nanjing to get into the museum, to show, to see, and to watch movies, to watch videos recorded back then, and to see, to witness everything with our own eyes, what Japanese people have done to our ancestor. Okay. So if you ask how Chinese people think about Japan and how do Chinese people still resent what Japanese people has done to our ancestor, the answer is yes. Having said that, that doesn't mean that every Chinese hate every individual Japanese, okay? Still, there is a good relationship going on between individual Chinese and individual Japanese. Like I personally also have Japanese friends, right? Even though we do have those kind of things about history. However, when it comes to individuals, like individual people are friendly to each other. So we wouldn't say that, okay, just because of what the ancestor has done, so that is why I'm not going to make friends with any single Japanese people. And lots of Chinese people would also travel to Japan, right, to experience the Japanese culture, to eat Japanese food, right? There's every year I consider there's a huge population from China to travel in Japan. So this is a very complicated issue. Yeah. Can you comment on Speed and how he's showing off China to young people? Yeah, I just commented it now. Japanese never apologize. That is the problem. Is it exactly? So what what Germany did to, right, to Jewish people, they apologize, right? However, Japanese not only never apologized every year, they even worshipped those kind of soldiers who kill so many Chinese people every year. So this is something that made Chinese people nowadays still really resent Japanese. That's the true reason behind. Yeah. So only to comment on Speed and how he's showing off China to young people. We were discussing that. How you're new in here, still I could answer your question. Okay. And guys, follow me, please, okay? Follow me, please, if you haven't done so. And keep on tapping the screen to send in likes. Let's reach 10,000 likes, okay, my friend? Help me reach 10,000 likes. And also, there's a button down here called interaction, called 互动. You guys feel free to join my team and also sending a yellow ticket called 人气票 so that my live streaming can be pushed to more people can come in to see it, okay? I was saying that before that the fact that Speed is coming to China is really good for China, right? And as a matter of fact, I also noticed there are many other content creators coming to China to really show the China they see. Because in January, because of the TikTok ban, somehow the barrier between China and US all of a sudden fall down. All the people flooded to Red Note. And everyone, after coming to Red Note and discover that, oh my God, Chinese people are so nice. You guys are not like what I thought. You guys are not like what I was educated about. Like, you guys are extremely nice. And many of you guys are really educated. And it's so funny that at the very beginning, when I started doing my live streaming, and there are people coming in, said that, okay, I've never seen any Chinese girl, Chinese influencer who are able to speak English as good as you are and have a live streaming like this. So you must be a propagandist. You must be paid by the government to do the live streaming in here. So always got the comments like that. However, I'm so glad that so many Americans come into Red Note and they see with their own eyes. There are many Chinese people, ladies, who are able to speak very good English, Chinese guys who are able to speak very good English and showing their life there. And they start to realize, okay, China is not like what I thought. And I also know, like, since so many foreigners are right now starting a social media account on Red Note, and I do see some foreign content creators showing videos, sharing videos of themselves, and they said that they get the invitation from Red Note that invites them to come to China to see everything and make videos and make live streaming here in China. These are so great. I mean, China definitely needs more Western influencers to come in here. Because a face like me, one good thing about me is that I could share things that only locals know. So by coming to my live streaming, it is considered to be a very eye-opening experience for foreigners because you could hear from a very local person in China to tell you all the stories about China very locally. On the other side, I am not considered to be the best person to talk about China in a very unbiased way, right? Even though I consider myself always sharing things in a very unbiased way, however, like I would not be considered to be the most unbiased person to share everything about China because I myself am from China, however, right? So the fact that we have so many people like Speed, and also I noticed there are other like very popular content creators coming to China and make videos about China and even doing live streaming in China. These are the people that is considered to be the unbiased people who are able to share unbiased views about China, right? And some people could say that, oh, there must be a script. This thing must be designed. Okay, you could argue if it's like a video live streaming that is recorded inside a studio, it can be by design, right? It can be scripted. However, when someone like Speed, he's like so famous, right? Everyone in China also know about him. When he's walking on the street, there's not such thing that everyone in China is like acting, right? There is a script. You cannot control what are the people would all of a sudden Speed run into on the street, and what are the people that would all of a sudden just run to him and make specific requests on what they like Speed to do with them, right? There's no such control like that. So by that, you do see the real time of what's going on in China. And I also noticed like one thing people were really amazed when seeing Speed's live streaming is that how come he could do live streaming for 6 hours and still there's like no signal breakdown, that China's like the internet connection technology must be great. Like no matter where he goes, like the internet connection is so great that he could everything is like 1080p when it comes to resolution, and also like there's no lagging, everything is so good, the internet is so smooth, right? Yeah, so like people were wowed by the internet infrastructure here in China. Yeah, so I definitely feel like very positive about that. The people say that, oh, he's positive about China. Well, yeah, he is positive about China is because there are so many things in China that is considered to be so positive, my friend, right? So that is why like it's also I definitely am a strong supporter for Speed to come to China and to show the Western friends of the real China, right? And you guys can see what the street is like, whether it's clean or dirty, and also see the infrastructure here in China and witness everything with your eyes, like how you're able to just call for a taxi using phone, like Uber, and pay everything using phone, right? Here in China, right? Yeah. Mhm. I lived in China for 9 months. I watch all the YouTube videos in China. I relate. Yeah, right? Yeah. Blink if you're in trouble. I'm not in trouble, but that you are asking me to blink when you're in trouble almost, somehow it just feels like I want to blink. There's someone said like, okay, blink if you're in trouble. Somehow I just want to blink, but I'm not in trouble. And because he asked that, I want to blink, but I'm not in trouble, my friend. I'm not in trouble, okay? And I try really hard not to blink. I'm not in trouble, my friend. Yeah. What makes you feel like I'm in trouble? But thanks for the care. Yeah, thanks for that. Thank you. That is funny. Yeah. Are you an actress? I am not actress, but everyone said that I look like an actress in China, a very famous actress in China. Well, as a matter of fact, people would say I look like multiple actors in China, but I am not an actress. Yeah. I am myself, and I am an entrepreneur, my friend. I'm an entrepreneur running my own startup projects. So yeah, that is what I do. Yeah. However, if there's a chance in the future that I could really try acting, I would. Never done that before. I'm always very excited about trying things that I've never tried before. I always need a sense of excitement, freshness in my life. For example, every time I go to a new place and meet new people, that really excites me. So acting is something that I've never tried before. So if there's an opportunity that I could really act, I would want to try it. It is interesting. It is fun, right? And I consider acting to be really hard. It's definitely not an easy thing to do. Yeah. Oh, how nice of you to say that. You're so smart and beautiful. You could do anything you want. Thank you so much, G Chef. That is so nice of you to say that. Yeah, you can do it absolutely. Thank you, my friend. You speak Chinese? Yeah. 说中文，中文说的更好。Chinese Mandarin is my mother tongue, so I definitely speak better Mandarin than English. So Mandarin is the best, followed by Shanghainese, followed by well, actually, right now since I don't speak Shanghainese a lot, I would consider my English and my Shanghainese like equal levels. From time to time, there are words in Shanghainese I don't know how to say. I would say it in Mandarin, just like English, right? So Mandarin is the best, followed by Shanghainese and English. Chinese English are equal levels, I think. Then followed by Cantonese. So these are all the things I can speak. Yeah, my friend. So definitely can speak Mandarin. Yeah, I also consider myself to be better able at articulate myself because of, well, say for example, if I am speaking in Chinese. Yeah. Major in English? No, don't major in English. Yeah, I don't major in English. It was more because of the work environment. I studied abroad. I have overseas education experience and overseas work experience. So I got the chance of practicing English a lot. And also because I also consider myself to have a talent in learning a new language and also very good at picking up pronunciation. Back then, when I studied English, when I studied English among all the students, I was always considered to be the one who are able to pronounce English better than others. 每天一来就送灯牌，你真的太棒了，No Talk，太爱你了，谢谢你，谢谢宝宝。Yeah, so that is why like I'm able to speak quite good English. Yeah. So I also feel very thankful for the ability to speak very good English. Somehow many people come in and said that, oh, okay, you speak very good English. You're almost like a native speaker. Like I thought you're an American. Many people say that, right? If I'm not able to speak very good English, I cannot do a live streaming like this to communicate with people from all around the globe. Have you stayed in the US for a long time? To be honest, no. I have never stayed in the US for a long time. If your criteria for a long time is over half a year, I have never. So I did an exchange program in my undergrad years, but that was only like 3 months semester, one semester in exchange program. And later I work in an American firm, but in Hong Kong. From time to time, would have training opportunity in New York. However, the longest I stayed in the US is only again 3 months at most. So I never stayed in the US for more than 3 months. Yeah, so very native. Thank you, my friends. Thank you, my friends. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. So, like I said, the fact that I was able to speak English really opened up the doors to many. Well, I am able to speak English. I am able to read English, right? That's how I am able to get to know the world a lot better than many people who are not able to speak or read English. So I was able to read a lot of articles in English, and I can see a lot of things that is not translated into Chinese. And also I consider myself to be the type of person who really like to think. So I get the resources from everywhere, and English is most widely used language, right? So a lot of the things are translated into English, even though they're not translated into Chinese. So the fact that I am able to read and speak and write in English really, really helped me a lot to get to know the world a lot better. Yeah. So if I have time, I would also, I would also, if I have time, I would also seriously consider to learn a new language. For example, Spanish. I told many people Spanish probably would be the next language I learn if I ever have time. Because reading many things in the native language would be like very different. For example, poems, right? So many of the poems, if we read it in the native language, you would feel how beautiful those poems are. So, for example, I really like Taigo's poem. 泰戈尔是泰戈尔吗? Is it Taigo? Taigel? How to say it in English? 泰戈尔. His poems are so, so, so beautiful. So beautiful. Have you guys read about read his poems. If you haven't, I really recommend you guys to read his poems. So beautiful. Like that is how you're able to feel the strength of words, feel the strength of literature. No, Thai girl. How to say Thai girl? Thai girl, Thai girl. She's like he is like a very very famous poems. I couldn't recite his poem, but I remember he has a very famous poem, something like this. Okay, I'm not reciting it, but I remember it's like the farthest distance is not between the sun and the moon, something like that. But the farthest distance is when you stand in front of me, but I don't know you love me, something like that. Like extremely beautiful. 什么世界上最远的距离不是什么哪里和哪里的距离，而是你站在我的面前，而我却不知道你爱我。Like things like that, like extremely beautiful. Tagore. Okay, is it pronounced as Tagore? 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 Yeah. 飞鸟集, yeah, exactly. Beautiful. Of course, in China, we also have like very famous poems as well, poets as well, right? Li Bai. So I remember, is it last year, 2 years ago, there was a great cartoon movie, 长安三万里, which tells the story of many of the poets here in China. And inside, it, it just tells the story of those poets. And throughout the movies, there are so many beautiful poems in Chinese history. Unfortunately, I don't know how to translate that into English, but these poems, when they're in Chinese, they're like so beautiful. So the other day, I was actually discussing all those Chinese beautiful poems with my husband, like 李白是什么天生我材必有用，千金散去还复来. Oh, these are like beautiful poems. And just so you guys also know that Chairman Mao, you guys must all know about Chairman Mao, right? Chairman Mao is a great poet as well. Like the kind of poems he wrote is, oh my god, it's always like very, how to say, 大气磅礴. So Chairman Mao is also a very good poet. So like we have lots of very interesting poems here in China. Yeah. Yeah. 李清照, yeah, 知否知否，应是绿肥红瘦. These are all beautiful poems. To be honest, when I was little, I'm not very good at Chinese. So of all the subjects I studied, I was always very good at English, always very good at maths, physics, chemistry. There's only just one lesson I wasn't so good at, which is Chinese. Never good at Chinese. I remember this one time of all the big subjects, I scored the highest score, the full score of 100. It's just because I scored too low in Chinese, I was not able to get the number one. I was not so good at Chinese. I could never understand what does those poems mean. What does that words means? What does that metaphor means? Never get to know that until one day. I start to have more experience, life experience. And then I start to read those poems. Immediately, I get the meaning behind. And then I start to feel how beautiful these are. Yeah, these poems are. 主播識唔識講廣東話？你睇我識唔識講廣東話？我識講。Okay, definitely there's a filter. I can tell. Okay, the camera is actually really making my chin become sharper because whenever I drink my water, it becomes like back to normal. Right? Okay, I really do need to change the camera because I don't want it to sharpen my chin, to sharpen my face. Yeah, I don't want it to be done. Yeah. Yeah, because I already have a pretty small face already, so I don't need it to be like even smaller. I like my relatively rounder face. Yeah, I guess something I need to do with the camera. Yeah. Yeah, that is why you guys feel like I'm so skinny today. Guess. Yeah. Guys, follow me, please. Okay, follow me, please, if you haven't done so. Follow me, please. Yeah. Yeah. I was sharing before that I was meeting also an English speaking content creator on RedNote the other day, right? And it was so funny. When she saw me in real person, the first thing she said is, "Oh my god, your face looks so much smaller than on the screen." She said. Yeah, I have a compared to if you look at the proportion of my entire body, my head is definitely considered to be quite small. So my face is also like very small. Yeah. So like she said, "Oh my God, your face looks so small." She said that. Yeah. And I said, "Oh my God, you look even prettier than what I see on Red Nose." Yeah, always complimenting each other. Yeah. And guys, follow me, please. Okay, follow me, please, if you haven't done so. Yeah. Love your earrings. Yeah. So many people really like my earrings, right? Thank you. I like it too. Yeah. You will get different feelings when you read poems in different ages. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So I was saying that I think Chairman Mao is a really good poet, right? However, the kind of feeling I get when I read his poems when I was little compared to what I read his poems right now feels like quite different. Because after reading so many other poems, then I start to realize, well, actually, there are so many other poems that's better than his poems. Can I say that? Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Where are you from? I'm from Shanghai, China, my friend. From Shanghai, China. Yeah. 中国人呢，同志们，是中国人，不是老外。Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, let's see what the other things that we can share. We can discuss. Li Bai is a better poet. Wow, you know Li Bai. Where are you from, my friend? How come you know Li Bai? Li Bai is the most famous poet in China. I didn't hear you say anything. Lee the cat, you're always so fun. Oh, cool. I studied at Fudan University many years ago. Wow, interesting. I graduated from Shanghai Jiaotong University. So Fudan University is considered to be our friend school, friend university for Shanghai Jiaotong University. So back then in my senior high school, the class I graduated from, I think around half people went to Shanghai Jiaotong University and half people went to Fudan University. Yeah, every day from 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. China time, this is like live streaming. And every day from 9 p.m., there will be replay of the same day live streaming. I feel like so thankful for people who message me. There are multiple people who message me and said that ask like, "Hey, I really like your live streaming. However, since you're doing it so early in the morning, I actually cannot really see the entire entire live stream because of work. Is it chance that you could record it and replay it so that I can watch it at another time?" So like actually it's not like just only one person, like several people come and message me separately making this request. So that is why I feel like I should do it. So that is why like right now starting from yesterday evening, so some of you guys might see me in the evening time and some people didn't realize it's actually not live streaming. They were saying like, "Oh my god, you're so hardworking, you're doing it again in the evening." Yeah, I can be that hardworking, my friend. Otherwise, I would die. 啊，你是自由职业者吗？不是自由职业，我在创业。在创业。So I'm entrepreneur, my friend. So I do run a team. Together, we're doing our own startup projects. One of the startup project we did was an AI app. We built an AI app that help people to make photos using AI technology and fix their photos using technology. That was the first thing we built. And right now, the key focus was on e-commerce, cross-border e-commerce. And because of our AI, our initial AI, like our strength in AI, so lots of the things that we do in cross-border e-commerce are also using AI technology. So the plan was like this. So first of all, we have to run everything according to the very normal, usual cross-border e-commerce way. And afterwards, we're gonna definitely try to machinize many of the steps using AI. And if we are able to build those tools, like how to use AI to kind of automate like many of the things when it comes to cross-border e-commerce, these can be like great tools, right? And we can later then start to monetize those tools, like AI tools that we built. So that's the plan. And also we could also like sell lessons to people who want to participate in cross-border e-commerce. It's going to be like a very big industry. It's going to be a lot of things that we can do inside this industry. So definitely consider it to be a really good opportunity, a golden opportunity. So that's the second startup project that our team are currently doing right now. Yeah. What do you mean by cross-border international? Yeah. By cross-border, what I mean is, like I said, China is considered to be the biggest manufacturing company. A lot of the stuff that is made, sold in China, very big hit when it comes to selling like those extremely popular products, they're not available in other countries, right? So how can we actually sell those kind of stuff through social media, like TikTok Shop, Red Shop, whatever, to people across the globe, so that people in other countries can also get access to the amazing creation of those great products at a very low price. Yeah. So that is the kind of cross-border e-commerce that I am talking about. Yeah. Mhm. There's 12 cities in China larger than New York City and 30 cities that's larger than Los Angeles. Oh, really, Chris? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Yeah, guys, maybe you don't know about this. For example, the population here in Shanghai alone is around 25 million people. Some people, after hearing that, say that, oh my God, that is even twice the population of my country, right? So Shanghai alone has 25 million people. That is how big our city is and how much population. And Hong Kong has around 7 million people. Yeah, that's amazing, right? I see Common is saying, wow, right? Yeah, Common is saying, wow, right? Yeah, so overall speaking, China as a country has 1.4 billion population. And just so you know, like China is not, when it comes to land, the size of the country, China is not as big as the US. US is a bigger country than China. I'm not sure like what's the population in the US. Chongqing has 35 million population. Oh my God, I don't know that. Chongqing has 35 million people. Oh my God, then that is like really, really a lot of people. That is 5 times the people in Norway. So you're saying like Shanghai alone is 5 times the people in Norway, or China is 5 times the people in Norway. I came to see my crush. Welcome, my friend. Yeah, so okay, actually China is largest mainland US. Okay, really don't know that. Yeah, somehow if you look at the entire USA, then US is considered to be the second largest country in the world, right? The first one is Russia, and second is US, and third is China. However, China has like way, way, way more population than other countries. I don't think China is bigger than US. I think US is bigger than China. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So US is like 400 million people. Okay, population of USA is 300 million. Yeah, 300 million. So the population in China is 1.4 billion, which is 4 times, over four times the population in China than in the US. China's population is 4 times the population of the US. However, China has less land than the US. So that is what's going on in here in China. So the other day I was, if you guys check my latest post, okay, my latest post about the vegetables we eat in here, right? The vegetable basket project. I was saying that China actually produces 19 times, less than 20 times, like 19 times of the amount of vegetables US are producing every day. However, China's farmland per capita per person compared to the US is only 1/5 of the farmland per person of the US. So we have like way, way, way less farmland, but within the farmland, we're growing way, way, way more vegetables than the US. Yeah, so that is definitely considered to be a miracle, amazing about China. Yeah. And also, like people told me that you're not allowed to grow vegetables at home. Is that really true? Is that really true that you're not allowed to? Well, yesterday someone said you're not allowed to brew alcohol at home unless you're licensed in the US. And also, I also see someone posted under my post saying that in China, in the US, that you're not allowed to grow vegetables at your home. Okay, that is not right, right? You guys can, right? You guys can, right? It depends on the location. We can sell it though. Okay, I see. Yeah. Whether you can grow vegetables depends on if you have a homeowner association. What is homeowner association? Well, some people are saying it's true, some people are not saying it's true. Not sure, but at least like here, like we can definitely grow vegetables at home. And I know like for some people like who are from richer family, they even have like a machine to grow vegetables. So you know, like there are some machines. Basically, you could just put some seeds in some small baskets inside this machine, and you don't need to have like big land with soil. And inside the machine, because they have lights and has like water self-watering system so that like it can grow vegetables inside the machine. Brewing beer or wine is legal, but distilling hot liquor isn't without license. Oh, okay. Interesting to know. Interesting to know. Interesting to know. Yeah. I guess like the system in different countries are so different with each other. Yeah. And guys, follow me, please. Follow me, please. Okay. Interesting to know. But why are they making distilling hard liquor illegal in the U.S.? Is it because alcohol is a big problem in the U.S. that so that's why like you don't want people to drink? Yeah, I remember in the history of the U.S. there's a period of time that nobody is allowed to drink alcohol, right? I remember in American history there was a period of time that alcohol was banned. Am I right about that? So I guess like overall speaking, in China, the alcohol industry, the alcohol drinking, well, some in some places in China, people are having a stronger tradition of drinking a lot of alcohol compared to other monetary reasons. Okay, interesting to hear. Okay, so that comes to another topic is because like so many things in America is privatized. So if you allow people to distill hard liquor at home, that's gonna hurt the business of some like hard liquor companies. So that's why they make it illegal. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. It's illegal because it wants to ensure collection of. Oh, okay, interesting. Okay, interesting. There are no laws for alcohol in China, but yet there is a problem, no problem like us. So the official age to drink alcohol in China is 18. So teenagers cannot drink alcohol. You can only drink alcohol after the age of 18. However, in every of the families here in China, what they would do, okay, even the kid is under the age of 18, still parents would allow the kids to have a taste, a sip of the alcohol. Especially, for example, it's a Chinese New Year, everything, they were just like, okay, 好，尝一点点吧，尝一点点吧, have a little bit of it, have a little bit of it. Yeah, it's not like a huge deal like in the US about drinking alcohol. And for example, if a kid go to the supermarket to purchase alcohol, then the cashier will not say, "Hey, show me ID, then I will sell alcohol to you." People just assume that okay, this little kid is just buying alcohol for the parents, something like that. 不小孩也喝. Someone said the kids in China also drinking alcohol. That is so funny. Yeah. Yeah, and we also have this kind of interesting saying that if you want to see how the person is like, just see how he or she behaves after drinking alcohol. He or she becomes drunk. Do you guys have such saying in there as well? Because some people they like someone said that okay, I cry after I am drunk, right? Some people they cry after they drunk. Some people always laugh after they are drunk. Some people are so happy after drunk. Some people are so sad after drunk, and some people become extremely rude after drunk. You know, it's like that. 小的时候都是我爸拉着我喝. There's a Chinese friend sharing saying that when he was little, it's always his dad asking him to drink, even though he's under the age of 18, I think. Here he is 21 in Puerto Rico. It is like China. Okay, interesting. Yeah. 小时候一杯啤酒，下午就没有去上学. That is funny. Another Chinese friend is saying that when he was little, he drank a glass of beer and was not able to go to school in the afternoon. That was so funny. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. In 3 months, I will move to China. That is fantastic. Yeah, I know 21 is in the US. Or, however, I know some young people who are even although they are under the age of 21, they will still secretly drink alcohol. Right? Because I actually did my exchange program in the US at the age of 20, borderline 2021, almost 21, but not able to reach 21. Back then, I was so young, right? I was so scared about so many things. So there are my classmates, peers who are not 21 yet, but they invited me to drink together with them. I was like so scared. No, I'm not 21 yet. I don't dare to drink. No, 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 no alcohol. It's like that. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, I know like in other countries, especially in the US, you have to really show your ID in order to purchase alcohol in, for example, grocery stores or markets, supermarkets, right? And also, there's also very interesting rule in Singapore. They also have very strict rules when it comes to it. So after, I think it's 10 p.m. or 11 p.m., you can no longer buy alcohol in those convenience store, in those supermarkets. They're so strict about that. So I remember there's one year I was like very young as well. So we went to attend musicals in called Zodiac or something. Zuac or something like a a music festival, and we want to have a bit of alcohol to make us a little bit drunk. Then we go to those kind of music festival and always like right, so happy. And somehow, no matter which convenience store we went, all the doors are shut down. Nobody is able to sell. Like unless you go to a bar, then you're able to drink there. Otherwise, you're not allowed to buy it. Yeah, very strict rules. Yeah. So consider compared to other countries, China has a way looser laws, regulations when it comes to alcohol. Yeah. 你比三个太阳还要光芒四射，哇！谢谢你，这个评价真的是太高了。Yeah. Okay, 2 a.m. cutoff in a lot of U.S. states. Oh, okay, interesting to know. I don't know about that. So in the U.S., you guys also have that. So after 2 a.m., people can no longer buy alcohol. Okay, interesting. Well, I don't know that. So in China, we don't have anything like that, right? So you can buy those alcohol drinks 24 hours anytime during the day, right? My Chinese friend. I don't recall we have anything like that. You just go to any convenience store, you can buy anything alcohol there. Supermarkets, anything is available 24 hours. And people usually don't check the license when they sell those alcohol to you, right? Oh, so in the US, there are 2 a.m. kind of cutoff. So in Singapore, it's 11 p.m. or 10 p.m. That is considered to be too early. I think like 2 a.m. is fine. These earrings are beautiful, right? You like this earring? Yeah, I like the fact you guys would say like, "Oh, I like the earrings. I like the necklace." Yeah. Really? Clubs also enforce it? So inside the clubs, no alcohol after 2 a.m. Really? No, that's not what I experienced. I back then I remember going to the clubs in New York and they still sell alcohol after 2 a.m., I think. Wait, is it really true? Because I don't remember in the US in New York when I was in the club in New York after 2 a.m. They stop selling alcohol. Not in New York. Okay, so in other states. Okay, so in other states, yes. Not so in New York. Okay, yeah. Hmm. Yeah, you talk about alcohol, you're AI. Wait, why? Why talking about alcohol means AI? Stops at 2:30 a.m. Okay, interesting. City specific. Is it considered is it considered to be rude to do Tai Chi in the office in China? My coworker does it all the time. So you have a Chinese coworker that does Tai Chi in the office all the time? Really? Like he's not working, like he's always doing Tai Chi all the time? Well, if he's always doing Tai Chi instead of working, then that is considered to be rude, right? You're in the office, you're supposed to do work, not to do Tai Chi. But that is also considered to be quite weird. I mean, like nobody's here when they work, go to an office, would do Tai Chi in the office. It's definitely not rude to do Tai Chi in a park. But that is so funny, right? That is so funny. Like, how come like someone would want to do Tai Chi in the office? I don't see anyone doing Tai Chi in the office here in China. That is funny, my friend. Do Chinese people and Koreans get along? Yeah, get along. Yeah, Chinese people and Koreans people are okay. Yeah, North Korean, South Korean, both are okay. Yeah, overall speaking, I think Chinese people is. I think throughout all the countries, all the people from all the countries in the world, there's only one country that people here in China have a very negative feeling for. That is Japanese. So apart from Japan, of all the people in the world, Chinese people are mostly very friendly too. So Korean people, we welcome them too. However, still, having said that, sometimes there are arguments between Chinese people and Korean people, right? So because we're all from Asia, right? Many things we would argue that, oh, this is from China, but they would say, oh, no, this is from Korea. This originated from Korea. There will be things like that. There will be some like very interesting discussions, even though there are relatively fiercer, stronger kind of discussions, almost like argument. But generally speaking, Chinese and Koreans, we get along. So I personally have many Korean friends. Yeah, I have many Korean friends. Yeah. I have a friend, a very close friend, who's a lawyer, and he married to a Korean girl. And that girl is so talented in language when it comes to language. And she can speak Korean, Chinese, Japanese, English, Spanish, and now right now speaking Russian as well. Like picking up every new language at such a fast speed. Like very, very able at multilingual language. Yeah. We're so happy. We're planning our trip to China for 1 month. That is fantastic, Carmen. Welcome, welcome you to come to China from Puerto Rico. Yeah, my friend. I've never been to Puerto Rico. I'd love to visit. Yeah, guys, follow me, please, if you haven't done so. Yeah, follow me, please, if you haven't done so. All tough languages, right? Yeah. Yeah, I've been to North Korea as well, right? So previously, fun fact, Tai Chi equals water bending. What do you mean by water bending? Yeah, so I went to North Korea. So there are some North Korea restaurants here in China. So if you want to have a peek of North Korea, you could actually go to the North Korean restaurants here in China. So the servants here are all from North Korea. Even though you don't get to see the whole picture of North Korea, but by going to those North Korean restaurants, you can have a little sense of their life and what their people look like, and you know, there's something you can get from going to those North Korean restaurants. So what kind of the taste they have, what are the food they're eating, etc. Also considered to be a quite good experience. So one great thing about China is like China is such a diversified country. We have all different kinds of culture and all different kinds of cuisines. So it's not only about Chinese cuisines, but also about cuisines from other countries, other Asian countries. So you could also try, like I said, Japanese food in China, Korean food in China, and tell you many of the Chinese, Japanese, and Korean restaurants in China are excellent, just as excellent as the kind of restaurants you see in Japan and Korea. Not so many good Thai restaurants, to be honest, and Vietnamese restaurants compared to the restaurants I've been to in Thailand and I tried in Vietnam. I don't see equally good restaurants here in China. Okay, if you're talking about mediocre kind of restaurants, yes, we do. However, if you are talking about the best restaurant, like the top restaurants I tried in Thailand and tried in Vietnam, oh, they have like, oh, fantastic, fantastic food. I don't have it. The pad thai in Thailand is never the kind of pad thai I tried anywhere else. So good, so delicious, the pad thai, right? And also pak siu, those are like the Thai food, right? It's so good, so good. I've never able to try like the perfect pad Thai and the perfect pak siu that I tried in Thailand. Never able to see like one that good in China. However, if you're talking about Japanese food and Korean food, yes, we have great Japanese restaurant and Korean food restaurant here in China as well. So the beauty of coming to China is that you're gonna be able to try not only the Chinese food, but the food from other countries as well in Asia. Are there North Korean restaurants in Beijing? Yeah, definitely, definitely. Are you going to Beijing? There are North Korean restaurants here in Shanghai. So I'm pretty sure there are North Korean restaurants in Beijing. Just Google it, and pretty sure you'll be able to find some North Korean restaurants. Sometimes in some of the North Korean restaurants, they would even perform. So some of the North Korean ladies would sing and dance for you while you eat. Yeah. Is it true in China you clean utensils with tea? What is utensils? All of a sudden, I forgot the meaning of utensils. What is utensils? I know this word. Somehow I forgot the meaning, Chinese meaning of utensils. utensil 中文什么意思啊？好熟啊，这个词。茶具. Oh, okay. 就是茶具. Yeah, that is true, my friend. Yes, we do clean. So it's not like clean. So usually, like after we have the entire tea ritual, we clean it with water, just like you clean how you clean your own cup, right? Clean this thing, right? You clean everything, right? It's just like during the tea ritual. So there is one step inside the tea ritual that you would use the tea to clean the ritual, to clean the utensils. because there's such a saying that the first tea, you're not supposed to drink it. You're supposed to pour away the first tea. When you put the tea leaf inside the pot and add water into it, that is your first tea, right? So you're supposed to use the first tea to pour over all the utensils to clean everything, and then start to drink from the second tea. Yeah. So if you're talking about that, oh, so you're talking about fork and spoon. That is the utensil you're talking about. I thought you were talking about the tea utensils, like the teapots, the teacups. So that is not the utensils you're talking about, right, my friend? You're talking about fork and knives, right? So just so you know that, guys, in China, we use chopsticks and spoons rather than fork and knives. We don't use fork and knives, okay? We would only use fork and knives if we go to a Western restaurant, or like eating we feel like eating something Western today at home. For example, we're eating a steak. Nowadays, lots of Chinese people are doing are working out as well, right? And they would start to eat steaks because that is good for building muscles. So when eating steaks, we would also use knife and forks. However, when it's traditional Chinese cuisines, then we would only use for chopsticks and spoons. Hello, hi，小五是新加坡的，Hi， yeah. So we're saying that in China, so what we are discussing is that in China, like people are asking that whether we would use tea to wash all the utensils. So it's definitely, if your understanding about that is like we would use tea to wash our chopstick and spoons, that is not right, okay? We wash our chopstick and spoons just like how you guys wash your fork and knives, okay? 用洗洁精, how to say 洗洁精? How to say 洗洁精? How to say 洗洁精, my friend? Forget how to say it in English. Yeah. Yeah, so we would use just water to wash everything. Of course, detergent, yes. No, not dish soap, detergent. Is that the right dish detergent? Yeah, right. Dish detergent. Yeah, so we would also use detergent to wash all the utensils, just like what you guys do. Also, in some families, for example, in my family, we have a washing machine that is for dishwasher. We have dishwasher, right? We have dishwashers to wash all the utensils. So like everything, how we wash everything, utensils, dishes, everything, plates, just like you guys, how you guys wash it in the West. Yeah. Your English so good. Thank you, my friends. Yeah. Yeah. Going to Chengdu to meet my girlfriend's parents was an appropriate gift. So first of all, congratulations that you're going to Chengdu to meet your girlfriend's parents. I suppose it's the first time, right? So that is considered to be a very important thing. Okay, meeting your girlfriend's parents for the very first time is considered to be the most important thing when it comes to if you guys are thinking of moving to the next stage of your life, right? Thinking about getting engaged, then the first thing, the most important thing is how to make your girlfriend's parents be happy with you. So bringing the right gift also matters, okay? So for example, in China, tea, we were discussing about tea, right? Tea is definitely considered to be a good gift to be given to your girlfriend's parents when you are going to meet them for the very first time. So definitely these should be tea packed in very beautiful, delicate kind of package. It's not like you're going to just grab and purchase a bottle of tea from the random grocery store and just give it to your girlfriend's parents, okay? It must be like very beautiful tea, okay? A big pack of tea, very elegant package, very beautiful package to show that you really respect them. You really respect this meeting. Okay, so tea is considered to be a great gift. But since you're a foreigner, you could also consider bringing something from your country to meet your parents. For example, if you're from Switzerland or Belgium, what are the things that is most popular, which is considered to be the most popular stuff? Chocolate, right? So you could consider going to those big chocolate store and buy chocolate, but definitely buy chocolate that is like really well packed. Okay, so definitely buy chocolate that's very well packed. So using that and chocolate and also what else? Chocolate and also tea combined together, you'll be good enough to meet your girlfriend's parents. Yeah. 哎呀，这个说啥呢？你是在骂我是长了一张蟑螂脸吗，我的朋友？Be nice, okay? Be nice, my friend. 哎呀，你是在骂我吗？That's so rude, my friend. Yeah, I was saying that today something wrong about the camera because I changed to a new device. Somehow it makes my chin become sharper, my face look like skinnier. I don't look like that because it's usually like a little bit wider. Yeah, I didn't do it on purpose. Somehow the camera did that. So I'm gonna switch it back. Yeah, but that is so rude to say that I have a cockroach face. That is so rude. Oh, my friend. Yeah. But many people say that I look like her. I'm not using today's camera, maybe. Not a nice compliment. Yeah, yeah. Anyhow, thank you so much, my friends, for coming back and supporting me. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, the camera is like very different today. So I think this camera on this phone is having this like automatic filter according to the camera's own ideal beauty standard, aesthetic standards. So somehow like changed my face. So I would consider I do look pretty in the camera according to my kind of judgment. However, it's just not like me. A little bit not like me. Like the face become a lot sharper. Yeah, yeah. I usually would have like a wider, but I like it. I like my face, but overall speaking, my face do look very small. Always be proud of yourself. Yeah, I am very proud of myself. I'm very confident about myself. That is one thing about me. I have to choose a Chinese name for my exchange year. Would Thomas be best for Thomas? So Thomas is the direct translation of Thomas. However, that is not considered to be a good name, my friend. In my opinion. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I won't mind the comment. So I shared in yesterday's live that in China, many people when they get a name, there's a meaning behind every letter, every word they use inside the name, right? So when you say 托马斯, so 托 needs to have a meaning, 马 needs to have a meaning, 斯 needs to have a meaning. However, the 托马斯, the Chinese name you're having right now doesn't have any meaning at all. So that is why like I would suggest you to come up with a different name. So maybe you could chat with ChatGPT and ask, hey, can you come up with a name for my name? Just give your first name and last name together to ChatGPT and say that, hey, can you give me a Chinese name that have certain meanings? For example, you could type, for example, if your name is Thomas Bradshaw, for example, just randomly say, okay, if your name is Thomas Bradshaw, just write, okay, hey, I want to have a Chinese name. Thomas Bradshaw, can you give me a Chinese name? So it means that I am very handsome, I am very smart, I am extremely intelligent. It will. It will give you a name. So just so you know that everyone's name here in China has a meaning behind our Chinese name. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. DeepSeek. Yes. Yes. Use DeepSeek. Yes, right now I use DeepSeek a lot better, a lot more than ChatGPT. So I would use both systems at the same time. However, I have a feeling that the kind of answers DeepSeek give me is better than the ChatGPT somehow. Do you guys have the same feeling? I feel like the system of DeepSeek is smarter than ChatGPT right now. Yeah. So my Chinese name means that I am very quiet, very amiable, like very demure. That is kind of thing. Qishan is not only about cheap. I know it's cheap. However, it's at the same time giving good answers as well. It's not only about the cheap because I ask both ChatGPT and Ask DeepSeek the same questions, but they give me the answers. I feel like the answer DeepSeek give me is better than um than ChatGPT. Yeah, that's the kind of feeling I have. Yeah. Oh, okay. You just read online that drinking age 18 was not never enforced, no law. So in China, we don't have this law that enforced like drinking age of 18, right? Oh, I don't know about that. I thought it was like enforced by the law. It's just that people don't follow it, don't abide to it, you know. Yeah. I use Quen and DeepSeek's API. Okay. Yeah. What is Quen? I don't know what is Quen. So previously I used POE.com. Have you guys tried POE.com? Yeah, they combine like all different systems. And ever since DeepSeek comes out, then I started to use DeepSeek. However, if I want to generate photos, then I would use Flux. Yeah. Mhm. American car brands is normal in there. Yeah. So American car brands is also pretty commonly seen here in China. However, right now there's a tendency that people start to have more Chinese EV brands. So I think right now, whenever people want to buy a new car, the first idea that comes to our mind is not to buy a traditional oil car. The first thing that comes to our mind is about buying a new EV car. So there are plenty of EV car brands here in China, like BYD, like NIO, like Xiaomi, right? Like Xiaopeng. And also like Tesla is also very popular in here. So it's always like deciding among these kind of brands. So if you're talking about those traditional like BMW, Benz, they also have like EV cars in here. Yeah, 未来 is NIO 嘛，我说了。So we also have those like BMW, Benz. They also develop, and Toyota. They also have like EV cars. However, people just don't choose those brands somehow. I don't see people buying BMW EV cars or like Toyota EV cars. People would only just buy EV brand EV cars. Yeah. So they're definitely losing a lot of market share. If you're talking about those traditional kind of EV brands from the West, traditional those oil car brands from the West, they're definitely losing a lot of market shares. 认识英文听不懂，某某说的好，多听就听懂了。Yeah, yeah. However, when it comes to the north part of China, I still consider there are a lot of traditional oil car there because the weather is so cold. If you're having EV cars and in winter time, especially in northeast part of China, 在东北，对吧？在东北大家就不太开电车 because the battery, once it's in extremely cold weather, it runs out very quickly. So that is why I think in north part of China, there are people still have this habit of buying traditional oil car. So you would still see lots of like Volkswagen, and like Volvo, like BMW, those kind of brands, traditional brands. Okay, some of these are all European brands, right? What are the US brands? What are the US brands? What are the US car brands? Ford, I know, but I don't see a lot of Ford. Yeah, somehow I don't see a lot of like American car brands in here, right? What are the American car brands in here? Because it seems like all the traditional oil car brands are either European brands or Japanese brands, right? Or Korean brands. Honda is Korean brands. I don't seem to see like a lot of American. What I don't even I can Cadillac, General Motors, 道奇别克, Cadillac. Okay, these are American brands, right? Ford. Oh yeah, Cadillac. Yes, Cadillac. A lot of Cadillac in here. Chevrolet. So Chevrolet became so popular in China back then when Transformers was on the movie. Wait, is it Transformer? Yeah, the movie Transformer was on, right? That was a period of time then that Chevrolet all of a sudden became very popular. Yeah. Oh, guys, thanks so much for reminding me of all those like American brands. Yeah, yeah. So in that sense, yes, there are quite some American brands of traditional oil cars here in China. Tesla is another story. Yeah, Tesla is a pretty commonly seen as well. So right now in China, like I said, people start to pick up the habit of driving EV cars, especially in the south part of China. 也可以说 gas car, oil car，我自己翻的，真的怎么讲我也不知道。yeah， 真的怎么讲我也不知道。OK， 只要听得懂就知道了，知道油车是啥，不管是 oil car 或者 gas car， 大家知道这个是老的油车就行了。OK，so those traditional cars right now like definitely losing lots of market share, and many of the Chinese EV brands grow up. Oh, it's called Chevrolet. Chevrolet. 我靠，雪佛兰的英文太难讲了。Chevy. Okay, that's easy to say. Okay, Chevy. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. So great. So great that you guys are teaching me how to say it. Chevrolet or Chevrolet? Is it Lee or Lee or Lay? Leah? Chevrolet or Chevrolet? I'm just gonna say Chevy. Okay, that is easy to say. Okay. Lay. Okay, thank you, my friend. Thank you for teaching me how to say it. Chevrolet. Okay, now it's better. Chevrolet. Yeah, yeah. Oh, okay. It's already 9:40. Okay, thank you guys so much for joining my live today. Thank you so much for coming. Yeah. So I guess the time is up for today. So just so you guys know, again, to repeat, I would usually have live streaming from 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. in the morning, and it will be recorded and will be replayed from 9 p.m. China time. So a lot more time for you guys to see me. And definitely thank you again for coming to my live today. And always happy to see you. And I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Okay, thank you so much for coming to my live streaming. And don't forget to follow me if you haven't done so. Okay，没有关注的可以关注一下。今天这个调了一个新的设备，很匆忙。明天应该一切就能恢复正常了。我今天好好调整一下。I'm gonna adjust myself so that tomorrow I'll be back with even better performance, I guess. Because today everything changed. Like changed to new camera, changed to new device, so a bit of hectic. 晚上9点开始回放，好吗？晚上9点开始回放。Yeah, starting from 9 p.m. China time, we will replay the live streaming today, so you guys could check and see it if you didn't catch the early part of it today. Okay, yeah. So 9 p.m. tonight. Okay, for those of you who want to watch my live, because we are stopping it. So if you want to watch it, come back 9 p.m. tonight, and you'll be able to see the entire live streaming this morning. Okay, love you guys. Bye bye. Bye bye. See you tomorrow. Yeah, see you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye bye. Bye bye, my friend.